This is the second video of a series where I'm going through my entire Notion workspace, and in this video I'm going to go over my areas and basically how I separate and categorize all the different areas I have in my Notion workspace. In the last episode, I actually went over my dashboard and how it works, and as you can see, my dashboard at the moment is full of tasks to do because I haven't actually been well over the last few days, having a bit of an eye problem. So in my space at the moment, there's lots of things I need to review and lots of tasks I need to do, but I thought this would actually be a good time to record this video so you can see everything that goes on to make sure I get back on track. At the bottom of this long to-do list, I have a review task, and this is basically what keeps me going and keeps me up to date with everything that I need to do. So when I go into this review task, you can see I have cards and review, and that review number is actually related to my areas. So if I go into this task, this is one recurring task inside my task database. And you can see the relation to areas is all of my areas. So every single area I have in my space is related to this one task in my task database. Then I have the done tick box ticked so I can see it's a recurring task in my main view. I have a date when I last did this task. So when I last completed this task, my selection, which is daily because it's a daily recurring task. And then I have my card roll-up, my area roll-up, and then the formula that gives me that information on my dashboard. So I can see that formula right at the beginning of my dashboard, so I don't have to go in anywhere to see how many cards I need to review or how many areas I need to review. Now using my tab bar, I'm going to go into my review section. You can see I have my flashcards database at the top, which I will go into more depth when I go over note-taking. I then have my notes database also in here, which again, I will go over in my note-taking video because there is a whole process behind taking notes, storing notes, and reviewing notes. And then I have my areas database. For those of you not familiar with Notion, essentially you have either pages or databases. So you're seeing my review page and a database, my areas database in my review page. And each one of these pages inside my areas database actually have dashboards in them. So if I go into tasks, this is what most people that use Notion will have. They will have a master task database. Now I choose to store my master task database as an inline database inside a task page in my areas database. There are a couple of advantages actually doing it like this instead of just having the database stored somewhere. First, you can actually sort this page any way you want. So if you wanted to, you could create a task dashboard for sorting through done task, to-do task, tomorrow task, whatever you want. But for me, what I actually use this page for is just to get rid of done tasks. So in my space, tasks are actually deletable. I can get rid of tasks because there's nothing stored in them. All of the archivable information, such as the notes, the projects, and information, are all stored in my projects database. So what I can do is I can go into this task page. When the review box is ticked, one of the other advantages of having this as a page in a database is I have a property in my areas database that gives me a review time. This means whenever the tick box is ticked, I can go into my task page, go through my done tasks in my task database and delete them all. Firstly, to save a little bit of space, because obviously if I was to have all of my tasks, I would have thousands and thousands of tasks, which may slow down Notion. I don't know because I've personally just gone for the deleting route, but it also means it gets rid of all of those other pages that are no longer needed. Then going into my project area, it is basically the same thing as my tasks area, but it's the projects database. So this is another one of those core databases that I think most people that use Notion will have. And in this view, I have all of the active projects. So I can see all of the projects across my space, whether they are blogging, YouTube, monetization, dissertation, any project that's in my space, doesn't matter what area they are associated to, any project that is active will be shown here. And again, because this is a page in my areas database, I have a review scheduled for this. So I will review this projects page, projects database, every 10 days or so I can see all of the active projects. So I can look through them, see how many I need to do, where I'm going, and it's sorted by date, so I have the most important projects at the top. Now the progress is actually formula based on the roll-ups. So you can see when I go into the formula, I have a green dot for when I have something to do. That's normally the very last thing to do. I have a green check tick when it's completed. So either all of the tasks have been deleted, so there are no tasks left, or I've completed all of the tasks in the project. Now, the traffic light system is based on a percentage of completion. So it doesn't matter how many tasks I have in a project, whether it's 3 tasks, 10 tasks, 50 tasks, the color is based on a percentage. This means that when the project percentage is 0, it's going to show a red cross. Now, in the formula, it's shown as a green cross, but that's actually an emoji. And then if it shows a 10%, 20%, or 30% completion, it's a red dot. 40% and 50% is an orange dot, 60% and 70% is a yellow dot, 80% and 90% is a green dot, and that is normally where I have 1 or 2 tasks left to do. So I can see the progress just by looking at a colored dot rather than seeing the progress bar. That's just my preference. I could make this into a progress bar with numbers and all the progress bar going along, but for me, just seeing a colored dot is what works for me. Then I do have an error at the bottom just in case something does go wrong, but it hasn't for a while, so it sort of just sits there in the formula box. Now those areas are actually different to pretty much all of the other areas in my space because they are database focused. The other areas in my space are dashboards, essentially. Now as you can see, like I said at the beginning of the video, I've actually been not well, so I haven't reviewed any of these spaces that have ticks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of these spaces and check them over. Now this process of review I'm going to go over in more detail in another video, but essentially what I'm going to do is go through the space and see if everything is up to scratch, see if I need to plan anything out or anything like that. So as I go down in my blogging space, you can see I have projects. Now the projects relation goes back to the projects database that we were just in, and these are all projects specifically related to blogging. Then I have tasks, which are specifically related to blogging. I have my card amount formula, card amount rollup, due formula, and due rollup, which are to do with flashcards. Then I have my flashcards relation. So all of those different properties are actually related to flashcards, space repetition, and learning. Again, I will go over that in my note-taking space, but just be aware that in my areas database, every single area is a topic of study essentially. So blogging, if there's anything that I want to remember, say a quote or an idea or anything that I want to learn, I will put that as a flashcard, and the flashcard will be related to the area of study, area of work, whatever that tends to be. Then I have my last review date, which is what I'll change when I've finished review. Then I have the review formula, and then all of the notes. Going down into the main page of this blogging area, you can see I have my tab bar, which is a global tab bar, so if I change it here, it will change everywhere else. And then I have my consistent dashboard setup. So at the top, I will typically have any planning that I'm going to do, scratchpad planning or anything like that. And then I have my notes database. Now, every page in my areas database will have a very similar setup of dashboards, and the notes database will always be filtered for the area contains whatever that is. So here you can see area relation contains blogging. In the YouTube area, it will be area contains YouTube. In resources, it will be area contains resources, etc., etc. So I'm actually using my areas database, all of the pages in my areas database, as a tagging system. Then, because in my notes database it stores everything, I actually have a separate property that's called tag, one being idea and one being resources, because resources are different things that I may be using in future, but I'm not going to action them straight away, whereas ideas are more likely to be things that I'm going to action straight away. And again, when I go through my resources space in another video, you'll understand the difference between the ideas and resources, but for this specific case, ideas in blogging is basically anything that I'm going to blog about. Then when I scroll down, I have my projects planning. And this is my projects database, so all of the projects, but this is specifically filtered for blogging, so area contains blogging and area contains content marketing. The reason I filtered these in groups is because what I've essentially got is I've got a blogging tag and a content marketing tag. So anything I see in this calendar is going to have blogging and content marketing tagged. This means that when I go to content marketing, anything I put in this calendar, i.e. the projects view in this calendar, also shows up in content marketing. The reason I have that at the top and then I have YouTube and content marketing at the bottom is because of the way Notion inputs filters. So if I was to have it the other way around, if I added anything new into this view, it would actually add the YouTube content marketing tag rather than the blogging content marketing tag set. Having the or in between the two groups means that I can have both of these viewed in the same calendar, so blogging and YouTube viewed at the same time, but whenever I add anything, it's only going to tag blogging rather than YouTube. Hopefully that made sense. If not, I have done a video on advanced filters, so maybe check that one out. But as we look over this calendar, you can see all of those progress emoji traffic lights. You can see the green tick for those that I've completed. You can see the red cross for those that I haven't started. And you can actually see the emoji difference. Now, I'm using emojis to differentiate between different projects. So I have the pen writing for all of the blog projects, and then the YouTube icon for YouTube projects. I do have other projects that's going on in my life, but I'm not choosing to see them here. That's where I would go back to that project area and have a look at all of the active projects. I do have a separate view of the projects database. It's in a table view, so I can see the progress and I can also see the URL link, which allows me to go to any of those posts straight away. And it can also show me all of the previous posts that I've made and plan things out further in advance. When I go down, you'll have the third part of my continual dashboard, which is my tasks database. Now again, when you go into the filters, it is filtered for area contains blogging because again, that is the tag I'm looking for in this specific page in my area. I'm also looking for the name is not review because that review task that I have recurring every day, that will actually show up in this space, but I don't want to see it just out of preference. So if I do happen to change the day of that task, I don't want to see it in this database. So I have that as a condition. Then done is not ticked because I don't want to see tasks that I've done. I want to see tasks that I haven't done. This also ties into that task view in my area because all of those tasks that are done will get deleted at some point when I go over the review. And then I have that second tag filter, area contains content marketing, because if there are any other content marketing tasks that I want to get done, I actually want to see them at the same time. So when I'm planning out all of those blogging tasks, I'm not putting all of the tasks on the same day because then I would get literally nothing done because I'd be thinking about all the different tasks I need to do. So if, for example, I go into one of these tasks, you can see content marketing and blogging are tags in this task. If I was to use the tab bar and go into YouTube, what I've actually done is I've gone into a page in my areas database that's labeled YouTube. So you can see that on the breadcrumb, we're actually in the areas database, the YouTube page, and the dashboard. Now, I've gone over my YouTube space quite a lot, but essentially I have the same dashboard setup. I have my projects filtered, my tasks filtered, and I'm using the area contains, and then whatever the area is, as my tagging system. So if we go back to my review page, you can see the areas database, you've got the YouTube space, the blogging space, and then if we go into the content marketing space, you can see all of those things that I have tagged with content marketing. We've got my notes section, projects section, but in the projects database, I only need to filter for content marketing because I'm not looking for anything else. And the same with the tasks database. So if I want an overarching view of everything I'm doing when it comes to content marketing, so that could be YouTube, blogging, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anything like that, I can tag it with content marketing alongside whatever the area is, and it will show up here. Now I've reviewed my blogging space, I can go into blogging, I can go into that page, I can change that review date, and now the tick disappears, and it will go down that list in my areas database. This means I know I've recently reviewed it, so I've either planned out the content, I've gone over projects, gone over tasks, gone over any database changes, or gone over any dashboard changes that I would want to make. So I know I don't have to worry about anything there. Now if I go into a note very quickly, you can see I have the content of the note and it doesn't have any area in it. And when I go back to my dashboard, I showed this on the last video, my notes database is actually filtered for area is empty. So any note that doesn't have an area associated with it essentially is not tagged. So if I was to create a new note, whatever that is, let's say it's a new blog, and I click on the template, what that template does is it adds in that idea tag, but it also adds in the area tag, and the area tag is the main one that's going to filter it through my space. So when I go into the blogging dashboard, which again is a page inside my areas database, you can see the notes database that is filtered for the blogging tag shows up where it needs to. Because it's no longer on my dashboard, it's now in blogging because I'm using the area page, that area page relation as a tag. Now to save video length, I'm not going to go through all of the other areas because they all look pretty much the same. You have the notes at the top, then projects, and then tasks. This is how I choose to tag, categorize, and organize all the different areas in my life because I'm essentially using the area as a tag for all of the other information that goes on. And if you're interested to learn more about how I use Notion, maybe check out one of these videos over here and I'll see you there.